Yes, good afternoon, Harlem and Harlems of the world. I'm Terri Wisdom, and this is Harlem Network News. And as many of you know, Harlem Network News is a new media platform. We started at the onset of COVID, and we're still here. We really got started and just jumped in the deep water with it. My background is in film and television, but when COVID came about, we knew it was very, very critical for us to just get Harlem Network News going. Many people were walking around Harlem saying, I'm Black, I can't get it. And that's because they did not see their images. So it's very important that we tell our own stories, we speak truth to power, and ensure the community is informed and engaged. We are on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We disseminate periodically newsletters and everything that's happening here in Harlem and the Harlems of the world. We really do our best to cover and get out there. So reach out to us. But today we have a very special guest with us who has visited with us many times and is another great part of the drumbeat of Harlem and the Harlems of the world. And that is in the person of Derek Perkinson, who works with the National Action Network. And I'm gonna let Derek introduce himself, say hello, and tell us what his full title is and everything that he does, because it's a lot. And I don't want to get it wrong.
So good. Terri, thank you for having me. You know, I love when you introduce me as Reverend Sharpton's Chief of Staff, even though I'm the New York State Field Director and the Crisis Director. But no, thank you very much. I'm Derek Perkinson with the National Action Network, 5 years now.
All right.
I serve in the role of the New York State Field Director as well as a Crisis Director here in that capacity. And we're looking forward to a really enthusiastic and inspiring convention with some real serious action plan items to follow. But we are excited, and it's kicking off Wednesday. It's going to go on to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I'm prepared to do a whole 4-day schedule, Terri, that you know who's going to be there, the times, and everything like that. So we're looking forward to it. We have United States Vice President Kamala Harris confirmed to speak over 30 minutes. We have we're going to honor Hill Harper, the Harvard grad and actor, and also active as well as none other than Tyler Perry. We're going to have Tyler Perry in the building to do some things, and we have many others that's going to do some stuff. So we're really excited about this year's convention, and we're ready to go. We're ready to go.
Okay. Yeah. No, these are very, very exciting times, and I want everyone to know National Action Network, NAN, as it is called as an acronym, and this is with the head of it, and I believe founder, which is in the person of Reverend Sharpton. So just tell us a little bit, Derek, because I never like to make assumptions that everybody knows. I mean, we know, but we don't make assumptions that everybody knows everything about National Action Network and just who Reverend Sharpton is and how people can become a part of the National Action Network and follow and get just generic information. And I know that you do have the conference or convention that's coming up this week. And I believe, is this the 15th year or how many years?
I think it's up to 17 or 18.
17,
okay. You know, I'll check that on you. So, you know, but I could find that out. But yeah, it's been every year. And actually the organization's been around 32 years. Wow. And I think we've been doing this for a minimum of 20 or so years. But we'll see when it comes in this form of being a policy convention. But yes, the Reverend Dr. Sharpton, what can I say, man? You know, he's the leader of our organization. He's the president and founder. I feel he's a master strategist, as well as the top of the political chain in politics, as well as in other disciplines in life. He's a minister. He was a 4-year-old boy preacher since 4 years old. You show me a 4-year-old out here who's looking to preach, and I'll give you the next Sharpton. But until we have that, we have him. He's been doing this for a very long time, fighting for people's rights, bringing light to issues of underserved and voiceless people that are not being heard. So it's been a tremendous pleasure to work for Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton and Attorney Michael Hardy. He's executive vice president, general counsel, and also one of the founders of the organization. And the National Action Network is the leading founding civil rights organization in the nation. Started 32 years ago. Reverend Sharpton and Attorney Hardy and Joshua Kieran and others. Eric Adams, who's one of the original signers of the papers back then, who's now the mayor of New York City. So we have taken direct action. And again, Reverend Sharpton and their generation has taken direct action in the streets and to make that change legislatively into the halls of our power, halls of power here in New York City. So it's very important to have this change here. And I feel blessed, very blessed, and to be around at this time during the National Action Network and helping to push and assist the organization to move forward.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And for those of you who are just joining, I'm Terri Wisdom. This is Harlem Network News. And I have Derek Perkinson with us of National Action Network. And it's just very, there's been so much going on. And Reverend Al Sharpton, as many people know, has nationally been at the forefront, of so many of the tragedies that have been happening in our community, from George Floyd going on back. Reverend Sharpton has been out there on the front line, preached most of the funerals, helped raise money for a lot of the funerals that we've had. So he really has been and is front and center. However, very accessible, because we have meetings, at least here in New York City, right at 145th and Malcolm X Boulevard. And you might tell us a little bit about that. It's like every Saturday. And also Reverend Sharpton is on MSNBC. So if you would just share a little bit of that, because I want people to really be able to plug in.
Absolutely, Terry. Thanks for mentioning that. I failed to mention Reverend Sharpton is on MSNBC every Saturday and Sunday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And now when he started almost 15 years ago, they told him he would not be on the air on TV for no longer than 6 months. And here we are over 13 years later, and Reverend Sharpton just had the highest ratings in his demographics amongst his peers and other stations as well, and breaking. Reverend Sharpton also has a radio.
Absolutely, every Saturday.
But he does the radio Saturday, and he does as well. He works 7 days a week, literally 7 days a week. Doesn't take a day off. He's explained wickedness in high places, and there's no way anyone who see the wickedness up there can stop working towards the goal of equality for all. So we are trying to establish that. And Reverend Sharpton has the youth program here, NAN. Every Monday, I'll call the NAN Youth Huddle, and by his daughters, Ashley Dominique Sharpton. They have an all-day presentation at the convention Saturday. I hope you're in the building, Terry. They're doing music and fashion show, and they have a really good time that day. And
I remember.
The 3 days I'm beat, but here they go with Saturday to get one more boost going. So it's going to be really fun, engaging, and we also already have over 6,000 registered people. 6,000. So that's really big. I know we had 15,000 a couple of years ago when I first came forward. I was proud to be a part of that. But 6,000 is still a lot, and it's gonna, and we expect more as we get closer. For those of your audience members who wish to attend, it's totally free. We see Tyler Perry, Colin Harris, totally free. All you have to do, you have to register. www.nationalactionnetwork.net. You have to register. 1, 2, 3, less than a minute. You registered. Come and join. You don't have to come all 4 days, but you'll be free to join all 4 days. And come bring a friend. Don't enjoy this experience by yourself. Bring a friend. I guarantee you, you're going to meet some great people. We also have the 50th celebration of hip hop that Saturday. I'm looking forward to that. Me being a child of hip hop
discussion with Jim Jones, the rapper from Harlem, and
Okay,
Mano, the
yes.
rapper from Brooklyn. They will
Okay.
be in the building as well. So we have a little bit for everyone. You know, my daughter, I told her she reminds me of Kerry Washington. We got
Okay.
Kerry Washington gonna be in the building, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. We have the talk show hostess, Tamron Hall, coming as well.
Okay. Wow.
So we have chock full of information,
Oh my
and we're
goodness.
looking forward to giving you the itinerary.
Okay, well, that's wonderful. And the convention, as he mentioned, as Derek Perkinson mentioned, it actually, there's I guess a meeting on Tuesday, the 11th, but that's chapter leader reception. Those are, people that are involved with the
We welcome
organization.
all the chapter leaders around the country. We're gonna work
Yes.
on all the chapter leaders and members to come to the House of Justice here in Harlem, 106 West
Mhm.
145th Street. And just for an hour and a half, 2 hours, just to meet them, greet them, to bring them in the city. But the next day, Wednesday, is the day the action starts. At 9 a.m., be there for the ribbon cutting with Hakeem Jeffries, Governor Hochul, Eric Adams, and many others
Wow.
in
Wow.
attendance.
Wow. Yeah.
I have 30. I have 25 elected officials confirmed for the ribbon cutting.
Wow. Wow. That's extremely, extremely powerful. And it's really important in these very turbulent times. I mean, we've had COVID, we've had, ever since the George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and I was honored to be at the March on Washington that you had that was in around 2021. And that was empowering because you had all of the family members of, all of the people, who had been slain and murdered. And we walked from the Lincoln Memorial to the Martin Luther King, statue. It was just a very empowering experience. And I have been to the convention before. So I encourage everybody to come. The convention takes place right in New York City, here in Manhattan. It's at the Sheraton New York Times Hotel, right at 811 Times Square Hotel, right at 811 7th Avenue.
Sheridan Times Square. Yep.
Okay. So as Derek mentioned, it really officially starts on Wednesday, and there's something every day, straight through Friday, Saturday. I'm scrolling through. You can go to
So Terry, let me go through with you. Let's go through.
Okay, let's go.
So everyone show up. Everyone show up Wednesday, April 12th. Wednesday,
Okay.
April 12th, 8 a.m. We have registration right in the lobby. If you
Okay.
register, even if they don't register right now, today, which is Sunday, if they come Wednesday, they can register right there in the lobby. Terry.
Okay.
So we want people to
Excellent.
register right there.
Excellent.
We have the
Excellent.
ribbon cutting with Reverend Sharpton and open remarks to settle it off. And then Reverend Sharpton will be having a fireside chat with Kerry Washington, the actress and the activist producer. And they're going to talk for about 45 minutes. We're going to have Benjamin Crump coming up after that with the mothers of the movement, who's Gwen Carr, and all the mothers and mothers of those who were taken from us to the victim of police brutality. Then we have our first plenary session. Now, a plenary session is a 10-minute, 15-minute lecture on what policies need, what's going on, and what needs attention to it. So these individuals will have that time. The first one is, and we have a host of President Biden's cabinet members attending this year. I mean, we are top heavy with President Biden. That shows the relationship with Reverend Sharpton and our president, which speaks volumes for our community and getting things done. So we have the Honorable Dennis McDowell. He is the Secretary of the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs. He's the top person in veteran affairs. So if you have any veterans out there going through different things, I work as crisis director. I get hundreds of calls with our veterans, and things they're doing are horrific. Any person who served for our country should be taken better care of than what they're doing. So if you have anything, you could come and make those concerns heard at the Veterans Affair, the top persons there. Then the next parent, right after that, we have the one and only Peter Buttigieg. And he is the Secretary of the U.S. Department of Transportation. He's the leading person in the country on transportation. So who else do we want to speak to than him? Reverend Sharpton Then we'll have a one-on-one talk with him. We're going to have the congressman out of Texas, Al Green. He's coming. Then we're going to have a cabinet member from Biden administration, U.S. Department of Education, Dr. Miguel Cardona, the top education expert here in America, and
Wow.
we'll talk to him about our policies. Then we have I may take my break early on this one. We have Susan Rice, the director of domestic policy of the White House and a former U.S. permanent representative, United Nations and National Security Advisor. This woman here has
Heavy hitters.
Heavy hitters. Susan
Heavy
Rice,
hitters.
she knows her stuff. She knows her stuff. So it'll be great to connect with her in her office. Then we have a break. After all of that morning, we have to slow you guys down, feed you a little bit, have a break, get some food. But then we come right back with Reverend Sharpton and a top person in the Homeland Security, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the Director Secretary, Alejandro Mayorkas. The Republicans been giving him a hard time at the border. He's going to make it clear the issues at the border and probably give some suggestions of what needs to be done and what help he needs from us. Right after that, we're going to have billionaire Robert F. Smith, the founder, chairman, and CEO of Vista Equity Partners. Robert Smith is the richest Black billionaire, African-American billionaire we know here in America. His panelist is going to be none other than Tom DiNapoli, who is the New York State Controller. He controls all our pension funds and our money. We have Jarvis Hollingsworth, the chair of the board, teachers retirement system, but he's out of Texas. So we want to see how our money's getting to Texas and what they're doing with our money. We have the Honorable Brad Lander right here in New York City Controller.
Yes. Wow.
We have a couple of the people out of the Biden administration, California, Michigan, that's also into these investments, because it's the title of the workshop is Increasing the Utilization of Diverse Asset Managers, a conversation with large allocations of capital, public pensions, and institutional investment. A lot of people don't know these large companies take our money without having a person of color invest for us as an asset manager in our pension funds. Okay. So it's really something we need to dig into, but I'm glad we're going to do that. And then that's how we close it out. We close it out with Robert Smith, the billionaire, at 4:00. However, we give you a 2-hour break because this night, the same night, opening night, Ms. Terri Wisdom, we have Keepers of the Dream.
I'm getting chills.
We are the National Action Network, born in the spirit and tradition of Dr. Martin Luther King. And we feel we are the keepers of his dream. And we want to acknowledge and honor and uplift others who are keeping Dr. King's dream alive. So we are going to be honoring Dr. Alfred Seawright, CEO for Medical Place Ambassador Andrew Young. We are going to honor Jane Rosenthal, Emmy-nominated producer, CEO, and founder of Tribeca Enterprises. We're going to honor Jennifer Jones Austin. She is a CEO of the Federation of Protestant Welfare Agencies and the vice chair of National Board of Directors for the National Action Network. Okay. We're going to honor and uplift Hill Harper, actor, activist, and author. And we're going to honor and uplift none other than Tyler Perry, filmmaker, director, producer, and entrepreneur. So this is going to be must-see. I'm coming in the building with my mother. I have my aunts coming. I'm bringing the whole family for this.
I love it.
And they all want to see Madea. So Tyler better get in Madea costume that time, or we're going to be disappointed. All right. So listen, I don't have much time left.
Right. No, I appreciate you, Derek. This is Harlem Network News. And just going over that initial what's going to happen, I'm getting chills. And I think it's also good for our Harlem Network News audience to know what's happening, because there's so much happening. So to be able to come and just, be right there in the building, get the information. And I know that our Vice President Kamala Harris is coming. What day is she coming? We're going to direct everybody to the website so you can really see the schedule. But he just gave us a little.
Kamala Harris coming Friday. But listen, I have to go now. You have the schedule. Read the whole schedule. Don't read that first one, but read this one, the whole schedule. Okay. And we're good. I'm happy to come on after to give you a recap of the convention. And we're going to go over every panel this time, all right?
I thank you, Derek. And Harlem Network News will be there. We will be covering the event, do some live stream. but I'm really, really excited, and this is really important. So that was Derek Perkinson of NAN, and he was giving us a rundown on the incredible convention that's coming up. You know, Kamala Harris is coming on Friday. We also, I'm just looking through the schedule. We have Tamron Hall coming. So it's really going over everything and every aspect of what's happening in our community. And I'm sure there'll be, of course, a lot of networking, a lot of events. There are over 25 public officials coming, and I feel it's huge. There are conferences on mental health that'll be happening Friday. So really every aspect of our lives is going to be addressed. And on Friday, there's a conference in the morning on Black mental health and the state of emergency. However, there's a plenary address with the Honorable Gina Raimondo, Secretary of the U.S. Department of Commerce. But right after that, there's a plenary address at 12 noon, and that's for 30 minutes with our none other than our Vice President, Kamala Harris. And this is huge because Kamala Harris is coming to New York, but she's also coming to us and our community. And I think that that's very significant and it's very important. And as was mentioned, there is also going to be a report on the state of violence in our community. And I believe that's happening on Friday also. So I'm Terri Wisdom. This is Harlem Network News. We are the voice and drumbeat of Harlem. I also really want to wish everyone a happy Resurrection Day, as well as Ramadan, Passover, all of this time of great faith. And just looking for all of us to resurrect ourselves, resurrect our community, resurrect our children. That is the spirit of the upliftment of the community. And so being informed is a start, and then moving into action. So these are the things that we're looking at. And this is really what Harlem Network News is about. We actually started on Easter Sunday 3 years ago. So this is a celebration for us. This is an anniversary for us. This is the growth that we've gone through. And we really encourage you to support our Black media, support our media of color. This is how information comes up. And when media is stopped, then everything is stopped. There's a lot of disparities going on in our community, but media is critically important, of course, as is education, healthcare, all of those things, economic development, housing, all of those things are intertwined, but media is where you'll be informed about it. So please support us on this great anniversary of Harlem Network News. Please donate. You can go to harlemnetworknews.com, where you can get more information, where you can actually make donations online. We have Cash App, $ Harlem Network News. And we also, you can Zelle us, and you can get into our Zelle by harlemnetworknews@gmail.com. And this is critical. This is critical. We are at a point now where we are doing major, grants and all of those kinds of things, but it's critical. This is how we can do more. This is how we can do better. This is how we can hire and train more people in the media so that all eyes on Harlem Network News. So I thank you. It's an honor. Please go to the National Action Network.com.org, and you can find out more about it. You can also sign up and register for the National Action Network Convention 2023. And it is going to be amazing. Even on Saturday, they will be celebrating 50 years of hip hop And I understand that Jim Jones, who's from Harlem, is going to be there. And, you know, God rest my son's soul, Ali Sam Wayman Wisdom, Columbo, the Shining Star. But he was unfortunately murdered like many of our young people. And this is, we don't know who the murder was at the hands of. This was November 5th, 2021. I am a member of Harlem Mothers Save with Jackie Rowe Adams. It's not a club we want to be in, but we've got to band together. We've got to support each other. But I remember Jim Jones when he was a teenager, and he and my son were in a dance program at the Valley right here at the St. John the Divine Center. So always grateful for that, but there's 6 degrees of separation among us all. So blessings and prayers, and happy Resurrection Day, and happy Passover, as well as Ramadan. All of these are in the spirit of faith and uplifting us all, and all of us, and just bringing culture and diversity together. And that's what we have to be about. So thank you very much. Thank you for the 3 years of supporting Harlem Network News. Please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. We premiere on Sundays at 4 o'clock, but it's up on our YouTube. It stays up on our YouTube, so you can always catch us. And we are really celebrating Women's History Month all year long. We had the great Robin Williams of Uptown Dance Academy. Her interview premiered yesterday at, I believe it was 8:30, and that's still up. And we continue to celebrate Black history all year long. So there is no separation. We want to make sure that people are informed, and stay tuned. We are doing a series on the City Council of Manhattan, our District 9, where we have 4 people running, and we're doing a series individually interviewing all of our all the people that are running for City Council in District 9. And Dr. Yusef Salam of the Exonerated 5, he's running, and he's new to this. We interviewed him about a week ago, Monday, a week ago, and that was a very powerful and robust interview. All of the candidates are being asked the very same questions, giving the voters a chance to really see where these candidates stand on many issues, and then they can make an educated decision for who they would like to vote for. So we'll be, the next candidate we have coming on is going to be who's currently an assembly person, and that is in the person of Reverend Al Taylor, Assembly Member Reverend Al Taylor. He is running for City Council. And then we also have Assembly Member, the Honorable Inez Dickens, who is also running for City Council. And then there is the incumbent, who is the City Council person currently, and that is in the person of Kristen Richardson Jordan. So you can see it's going to be a very intense election, and people really need to look, study, and understand very carefully what's happening, because we have 2 people that are assembly people for New York State Assembly that feel it's important and critical that they make a change and come in and run in the City Council race. They feel they can be more effective there, but they have to speak for themselves. And then we have Dr. Yusef Salam of the Exonerated 5. And as you know, there was recently the naming of the Gate of the Exonerated. And he is has been a public speaker, an inspirational speaker for many years, making a difference. But he's at a point in time where he feels he can be impactful as a City Council member. So there's a lot to consider, which is why we are doing the series that we are, so that voters have more than 2-minute sound bites to make decisions on, because there is a lot that must be addressed here in the Harlem community, and the District 9 is Central Harlem. So these things do determine the quality of our lives, the quality of our children's lives. So I just want to thank everybody again. I am grateful. I sit in gratitude, and I am Terri Wisdom, and this is Harlem Network News. You can get in touch with us at harlemnetworknews@gmail.com, harlemnetworknews.com, as well as reach out to us via telephone at 646-261-5397. We do need your donations. We do need your support in terms of if there's something going on where you can just feed us the information, because it's a drumbeat, especially here in Harlem. And if you have a skill set, writing, camera, editing, all of those things, we would love to work with you. So thank you, thank you, thank you on this incredible Resurrection Day. I want to give a shout out to the Black Girl Magic Club out in Southampton High School, and London Best, the founder and president, Sister Anaya, the vice president, Mrs. Jeffries, the advisor. They took off this morning at 4 a.m. on a Black college tour. And they are going, making a couple of stops, but they're going on down to Atlanta, Georgia, to the ATL. They're going to visit Morehouse, and hopefully they'll be able to visit Clark, Atlanta, the whole complex, Spelman. I think they are going to visit Emory as well, and they're going to come back on up and do Hampton and Howard University and Morgan State. So it's a very powerful thing. There are 25 students that are traveling, and this is coming from our youth. London Bess of the Shinnecock Reservation started Black Girl Magic, and she is my granddaughter. So she's taking that torch, and she's 17 years old and started a club. One day she called and she says, "Grandma, I'm going to start a club, Black Girl Magic, because there's no Black people and in this school, and we need our issues addressed." And they've come on from that, and they've been able to raise money to go on this college tour. And when they return, we'll be doing a show with them. So it's truly Resurrection Day as these young people set off on this great college tour. Yes, there is hope. Resurrection is a time of hope. Terri Wisdom, Harlem Network News. Have a blessed and prosperous day. And the other message is love and redemption. So that's what we're here to say, and that's what we're about. Harlem Network News. Stand firm. For whatever, back with never, Marcus Messiah Garvey, and I could keep the quotes coming. So goes Harlem, so goes the world. And it truly takes a village, and you are that village. This is your name. Thank you. Blessings.